Imagine starting a war over a bakery. Sounds absurd, right? Welcome to the Pastry War, a conflict between France and Mexico in 1838 to 1839. Picture this: a French pastry chef, a damaged shop, and a demand for compensation that spiraled into a full-blown military conflict. Intrigued yet? The Pastry War is a historical nugget that combines absurdity with serious political undertones. It's a tale of national pride, economic interests, and yes, pastries. This sweet conflict, often overshadowed by grander wars, offers a fascinating glimpse into the quirks of international relations. Now, before you dismiss this as a mere skirmish over eclairs and croissants, let's delve deeper. Ready to taste a slice of history? Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the Pastry War, where reality is truly stranger than fiction. The origins of the Pastry War can be traced back to 1828. A French pastry chef named Remontel had his shop in Mexico City ransacked. This wasn't just a case of petty vandalism, it was a symptom of a larger issue. The political instability in Mexico led to widespread chaos, affecting businesses, both local and foreign. Remontel demanded compensation from the Mexican government, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. Fast forward to 1838, and the French government decided to take up Remontel's cause. They demanded a whopping 600,000 pesos in damages. The Mexican government, already struggling with its finances, refused to pay. France sent a fleet to the Gulf of Mexico, blockading Mexican ports. This blockade wasn't just a display of naval power, it was a serious economic threat. Mexico relied heavily on its ports for trade, and the blockade crippled its economy. The stage was set for a military confrontation. The story of Remontel's pastries wasn't just about sweet treats. It was a symbol of the larger issues facing Mexico at the time. The country was rife with political instability, corruption, and economic hardship. Foreign businesses like Remontel's pastry shop often found themselves caught in the crossfire. When Remontel's shop was looted, it wasn't just pastries that were stolen, it was a sign of the lawlessness that plagued the nation. Remontel's case became a rallying point for other foreign nationals who had suffered losses in Mexico. French merchants in particular were vocal about their grievances. The French government, eager to protect its citizens and assert its influence, seized the opportunity. The demand for 600,000 pesos wasn't just about compensating Remontel, it was about sending a message. France wanted to show that it wouldn't tolerate the mistreatment of its citizens abroad. The missing pastries symbolized the breakdown of order and the challenges faced by a young nation trying to find its footing. France's decision to intervene in Mexico wasn't just about pastries, it was about asserting its power and influence. By standing up for Remontel, France sent a message: mess with our citizens, face the consequences. The blockade of Mexican ports was a bold move. The French fleet under Admiral Baudin cut off Mexico's trade routes. The French launched attacks on Mexican coastal cities, including Veracruz. France's stand in the Pastry War was about demonstrating its power and protecting its interests. Mexico found itself in a difficult position when faced with France's demands. The young nation was grappling with internal strife, economic hardship, and political instability. The last thing it needed was a conflict with a powerful European nation. Yet Mexico couldn't simply capitulate to France's demands without losing face and sovereignty. President Anastasio Bustamante, leading Mexico at the time, faced immense pressure. Paying the 600,000 pesos was out of the question due to Mexico's dire financial situation. However, resisting France meant risking further economic damage and military defeat. Mexico's response was a mix of diplomacy and defiance. They attempted to negotiate with France, hoping to reduce the demanded amount and avoid full-scale conflict. However, France's insistence and the ongoing blockade made negotiations difficult. Despite the odds, Mexico's response was marked by a determination to defend its sovereignty. The Battle of Veracruz was one of the key events of the Pastry War. This coastal city was strategically important, and its capture by the French marked a significant escalation in the conflict. On November 27, 1838, French forces, led by Admiral Charles Baudin, launched an assault on Veracruz. The city's defenses were ill-equipped to withstand the well-organized French attack. The French bombardment was relentless. Within a few days, Veracruz's defenses crumbled and the city surrendered. The fall of Veracruz was a major blow to Mexico. It highlighted the stark contrast in military capabilities between the two nations. For the French, the victory was a demonstration of their naval prowess and strategic acumen. However, the battle wasn't just a military clash, it was a cultural one as well. The French brought with them not just soldiers, but also their customs, language, and way of life. The Battle of Veracruz underscored the challenges Mexico faced in defending its territory and the lengths France would go to assert its demands. Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna made a dramatic return during the Pastry War. Known for his role in the Texas Revolution, he was a seasoned military leader. In 1838, he led the defense against the French invasion. During the defense of Veracruz, he lost his leg to a French cannonball. Santa Anna turned his injury into a symbol of national resistance. His amputated leg was buried with full military honors. The leg became a mythical artifact in Mexican history. Food has often played a symbolic role in conflicts, and the Pastry War is a prime example. The conflict's name itself highlights how a seemingly trivial matter like pastries can become a flashpoint for larger issues. In many ways, the war over Remontel's pastries was about more than just food. It was about national pride, economic interests, and international diplomacy. The idea of a war over pastries might seem humorous, but it underscores the importance of seemingly minor issues in the grand scheme of things. Food, as a basic human need and cultural artifact, can become a powerful symbol. In the case of the Pastry War, the pastries represented the grievances of foreign nationals and the broader issues facing Mexico. The French, with their rich culinary tradition, perhaps saw the attack on the pastry shop as an affront to their national pride. The demand for compensation was as much about restoring honor as it was about monetary restitution. The Pastry War reminds us that food in its many forms can be a powerful force in history. The Pastry War featured several notable figures whose actions shaped the course of the conflict. On the French side, Admiral Charles Baudin played a pivotal role. As the commander of the French fleet, his strategic decisions, including the blockade and the assault on Veracruz, were crucial to France's military success. His leadership was marked by both military prowess and an understanding of the political stakes involved. On the Mexican side, President Anastasio Bustamante faced the daunting task of leading a nation in turmoil. His efforts to negotiate with France while preparing for military resistance reflected the complexities of his position. Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, with his dramatic return and subsequent injury, became a symbol of Mexican resistance. His leadership during the defense of Veracruz and his personal sacrifice left a lasting legacy. Santa Anna's role in the Pastry War added a layer of human drama to the conflict. Remontel's grievances sparked the entire conflict, highlighting how individual actions can have far-reaching consequences. The Pastry War had significant consequences for both France and Mexico. For France, the conflict was a demonstration of its naval power and its willingness to protect its citizens abroad. The war reinforced France's position as a formidable European power with interests far beyond its borders. It also set a precedent for how France would handle future international disputes. For Mexico, the Pastry War was a sobering experience. The conflict exposed the nation's vulnerabilities and the challenges it faced both internally and externally. The economic impact of the blockade and the cost of the war further strained Mexico's already fragile finances. The war also highlighted the need for stronger national unity and better governance. In the immediate aftermath, Mexico was forced to pay the demanded compensation, albeit a reduced amount. The war also led to political changes within Mexico, as leaders grappled with the lessons learned from the conflict. The Pastry War served as a catalyst for broader reforms aimed at stabilizing the nation. The Pastry War, despite its seemingly trivial origins, left a lasting legacy. It was a conflict that highlighted the complexities of international diplomacy and the importance of national pride. What started as a demand for compensation over a ransacked pastry shop escalated into a significant military confrontation with far-reaching consequences. This sweet but sour conflict reminds us that history is often shaped by unexpected events. The Pastry War offers lessons in resilience, national pride, and the power of seemingly minor issues to spark major events. It's a testament to how interconnected our world is and how the actions of individuals can ripple across nations. Issues of national sovereignty, economic interests, and international diplomacy remain as relevant today as they were in the 19th century. The Pastry War serves as a reminder that even the most unusual conflicts can offer valuable insights into the human condition. A sweet conflict indeed, with a legacy that continues to resonate. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below